What's good? What's good? Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine.
And I am James.
And we are doing a review on the WandaVision. Finally got a chance to see this. They pushed it back. When did they announce WandaVision?
What was that like?
Remember they did the little panel.
Was it early?
It was like maybe a year and a half ago.
Year and a half. Like I want to say like right.
It was like 2000. It was like 2019. I forget what that was when they released all the Phase 4 stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like a while back. You know? So anyway.
That was so long ago.
I know. We finally got the WandaVision, and we watched it yesterday. And I was on the 2 episodes, so they're going to release probably 2 episodes a week. Hopefully 2 episodes a week, because they're only going to be 30 minutes. Right. So we're going to review that, but before we do that, we got intro. All right, we have returned for the WandaVision review. So, like I said before, it was only 30-minute episodes, and they released the first 2 episodes. I'm kind of glad I got 2 episodes, because if I would have just got 30, I would have been a little...
After all that waiting and all
that. Yeah,
that's
the problem, too. We've been waiting so long. You know, this would be way better served if they released the whole series. The whole series at once.
But what it is, they're trying to make some room so that by the time this wraps up, they can have something else.
Well, I mean, that's their whole, setup. The whole setup is to do it every week, and certain shows is cool because you like, okay, I would have wanted a little time to let it sink in. This show, it's like, can you get to the point? So you know what I'm saying. So you can't. And once you get to the point, it's all worth it. But we gotta wait weeks to get to the point. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Because since they set this up like with a heavy suspense element to it, they want to leave you riding that edge as long as they can. Right.
Which, what I'm saying though, I would keep watching because I'll be trying to get to that point. Yeah. And I'll probably watch that whole thing in like 1 or 2 days, where usually I'll take me about a week and a half or so. But I watch it like 1 or 2 days. So I'm like, okay, I need to find out where's all this leading. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna show. I'm gonna show you the quick trailer for WandaVision if you're not familiar with it, just to get a little look at what it looks like. So check this trailer out, and then we're gonna finish our review.
Doing rattling around this big house?
Well, I assure you, I'm married to a man, a human one.
Wanda.
What's its ring? And I ran. Why you sleep out of
We are an unusual couple.
Oh, I don't think that was ever in question.
We just don't know what to expect.
Howdy, neighbors.
Hey, buddy.
Wanda, what's up?
Who are you?
I don't know.
I think something's wrong here.
Wanda, can you read me? Who's doing this to you?
Are you here to help us? This is our home.
Then let's fight for it.
Well, I think we handled that well.
Right, that's WandaVision trailer. That was it's on Disney Plus right now. Check it out if you want to see it. Overall, how'd you like the first 2 episodes?
It was all right.
Was it what you expected, or were you surprised? What's the dealio?
I didn't expect them to lean so heavy into the premise, I think is what it was. Like, I thought the premise was going to be, okay, here's where we are, now go. Yeah. It was more like, no, here's where we are. Yeah. So, like, there is no, wait a minute, this feels like a sitcom. It's like, no, this is real life. Yeah, yeah.
Right. And what he mean is they made it look like a sitcom, and lo and behold, it was a sitcom.
Yeah.
And they stayed to the sitcom premise the whole episode.
Yeah.
And they actually did that in the second episode. They didn't really break it was small things in there that kind of broke you out of, something else going on, but real small. They kind of had pretty much a whole episode of Bewitched.
Yeah.
Now I was hearing they actually filmed that in front of a studio audience for their little. So they was going full tilt with the sitcom thing. Now, what I heard was Kevin Feige is a big fan of all these sitcoms. He used to watch Nick at Night or whatever, and he kind of had an idea. He probably never thought he could do an actual sitcom from back then. And he said, "Oh man, this is an opportunity." So that's what I heard, and I'm not sure that's true. But he kind of wanted to. So that's why they took it serious on the sitcom.
More power to him. Look, I'm a '90s kid, man. I get nostalgia. This ain't my nostalgia,
right?
But I get it, you know. And I think where I'm at with this is I'm here just for I'm here for Easter eggs and shout outs. You know?
But see, that's going to be a problem for people like you, because you waiting on the punchline.
So what I'm saying is I know the punchlines are ways off. So all I'm looking for is what's the inspiration for this? I get it. Cool. You know, so it's this is Bewitched. I get that. Cool. Yeah. More power to you. On the TV there was an ad for a watch called the Strucker. It's got the Hydra symbol. You know. they got Easter eggs all in there. I'm here for that right now.
Yeah.
You know, because the rest of that is not for me, but I can appreciate it.
I was just about to ask you, but can you enjoy what they're giving you until you get to the other point?
Yes.
Yeah, I was the same way, because I'm watching it. It was cool. I was kind of waiting for. I was waiting for them to give us some clues about what's really going on, because we all know that this shit ain't real,
right.
And we know that. I vaguely know about the comic, but I know this is Wanda's power, and I don't know exactly. We don't even know exactly what's going on. They show up in town. Everybody, what you doing here? You know, yeah, what are you doing here? And then, I was wondering, are the people there real, or is this all her? I think the people are real, and I think they all stuck there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
And her power is making it that they all basically stuck in a sitcom, which is cool. And like you said, you didn't think it was going to be a full-on sitcom, but I'm thinking
it's probably better that it is.
The way they got it?
Yeah.
Why you say that?
Well, because I'm looking at it like this. Because of the way that the story that this is taking from plays out in the way that, the story as I would have done it would have played out, it would have just been straight up horror. It would have just, it's because it's a terrifying premise. Right?
Yeah.
But the way they play is one, it leads you into it soft. So you're not just coming in as what the hell is this?
Right.
So it leads you into it soft. You can get invested. The people matter to you because you can see the different shades of them as real people. Yeah. And so once this really takes off, you're going to feel the conflict.
Yeah. But my only problem is I was hoping I would like for them to put more of not just the Easter eggs, but more of what's going on for real.
Yeah. A few more glimpses of reality.
Right. Yeah. Where we know it's her little show, as her in her mind is the Bewitched episode, but let's watch the Bewitched episode, but for real things keep creeping in, and they kind of got stuff, but it's very little.
Very little, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Every now and again you catch a little bit of it.
Right, and sometimes you gotta look hard, but then they got some things obvious, like one thing is in color. Yeah. But that's just one small thing, and then they jump back to the sitcom, where they'll do the sitcom for 15 minutes straight without no breaking of.
And every now and again, you'll see her realizing something's off, and then you watch her convince herself nothing's wrong. Yeah, which is its own thing, and I like the way they did it. But as a viewer, I would like to be able it's all well and good to know that the character is stuck in the delusion.
Right.
But as the viewer, I want to be able to see, okay, that's where the this is where the delusion ends.
Right. Like you're right. As the viewer, I need to know. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but give me more clues.
Yeah.
That'll keep me more invested. Because it's almost like they actually tried to make a sitcom. They did try to basically it's an homage to those old sitcoms, but they made a whole episode of that.
and that's
very little of what's really going on.
And that's what makes it a weird watch for me is like I'm trying to find like the line of what's really happening.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's a sitcom.
And they're not giving you that until, maybe a little couple minutes, they give you something and then they jump out. Which they kind of gave you stuff at the end of each episode.
Yeah.
Where I don't want to say the first episode is only 30 minutes, and we talked about that timing, and I think it works because if you're going to do a full-on sitcom, don't go over 30 minutes.
Right.
That's why none of them went over 30 minutes because it was always some dumb thing that happened that needs to be resolved in 22 minutes. None of them that's going to go on. So they had like a little plot where my boss coming for dinner, which that was probably a big on the.
I mean, that was straight up a Bewitched episode.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was one of those episodes. And a lot of people say, "Oh, it's so sexist." I mean, if you're gonna do the shows from then, it's gonna be, housewife, husband, go to work. That's always been the blueprint, the aesthetic.
Because I had that knee-jerk reaction. They have a commercial in the first episode.
The toaster commercial?
The toaster commercial. And I was like, you actually filmed that in 20?
Man, did you hear when the toaster commercial? He was like, hey, if you want your toast cooked right now, they said, don't let your wife burn your toast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I'm like,
make sure she cooks it right. Get the brand new toaster from Stark Industries.
The Toastron 3000. Like I'm sitting there, I'm like, what, bro? Like it fits. Like that's the worst thing about it. It fits. So like you have to reconcile that. It's like, no. If we gonna say we in this time period, we doing this whole thing for this sitcom, you got to do it all.
Now, I was watching some Easter eggs. They were saying that was a reference to the Stark Industry bomb blew up where, what's the name of them house?
I kind of figured
her Wanda and Quicksilver, wherever they lived at, that it was a bomb. It was a Stark missile that blew up where they lived and killed their parents or whatever. That's why they had a big gripe against Stark or whatever. Which is cool. That's an Easter egg, but still though. So, did you have? Well, I had some fun with it. Did you actually have fun with the actual?
I did have fun with it. I did have fun with
sitcom.
Like the first one was all right, cool. I get it. I enjoyed the second one a lot more.
Yeah.
One just because I like that they did something different with Vision in that episode.
I was just about to talk about that.
Like, it's one, I love the mechanism of that episode. Like, when they do the little animated bit.
Yeah. That's straight out of Bewitched.
Yeah, I loved it. I love that.
And I'm about to say Vision or Paul Bettany, he make a good drunk.
Yeah, he makes an excellent drunk, bro. Like, for a second, I'm like, wait, why is he drunk? It's just, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of silly.
It's very silly.
Where they just had him act different, whatever. But he was cracking me up when his drunk act was funny as hell, actually,
and convincing.
Yeah,
like it wouldn't have surprised me if like he did an interview. It was like, no, I
had a few.
I had a fifth or two before we rolled. Kevin said go ahead. So
But the episodes themselves, they was entertaining. But the whole time I'm thinking, what is the, what should I be paying attention to? Like, what should I be catching? You know what I'm saying?
And that's the one problem I really have with the show is that the throughput, as far as like the plot line, because these are written like what's the word? Sitcom episodes.
Yeah, they written like those.
There is no consistent plot between the two.
Yeah.
And because the only consistent plot is like the mechanism of the series itself, there's so little of that this could just be a sitcom.
Yeah, agreed. And I'm looking like I was trying to think what this mean, what that mean. They got this character named Agnes, I think.
Agnes, yeah.
Agnes, and everybody said that's a character from the comics. Excuse me, she another witch from the comics or whatever. I believe. I'm not sure, but
I mean, like I had thought she might have been Agatha Harkness.
that's what they were saying.
Yeah.
And and then everybody was like, yeah, she was acting strange, so she got to be something. I was like, I didn't pick that up. She just seemed like an annoying neighbor.
Well, like, also,
I know people like that just
also,
won't leave.
Like, that's that actress's go-to is like the nosy neighbor. Like,
yeah.
So like, I wasn't surprised to see that. It's just like the weirdness is when other people come out of their role.
Yeah.
And that's I love how disturbing it is when it happens.
Yeah. Now I did like. Okay, what's her name? The black chick, Monica Rambeau.
Yeah.
Or whatever. How you say her last name? Is it?
I think it's Rambeau.
Yeah. And basically, she is a sword agent. And I was thinking, oh, you know what? That makes a lot of sense because that's the same lady. Ain't this the same lady from the Captain Marvel movie?
That's the kid from Captain Marvel.
Oh, she grew up.
Yeah.
That was her mom was since that was a 90s. So, yeah. So the fact that she know
also
about
known as Captain Marvel.
What's that?
Also known as Captain Marvel. In the
Right.
comics.
So the fact that she know about what's going on and that's perfect. She worked for Sword. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That all kind of works out. And then I started put piecing stuff together, and then they did break the fourth wall, or kind of took you out of it, where they showed somebody watching this on a monitor or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I need just a little more of that, just a little more. Not saying that what they doing is like a mistake, but y'all got to give me a little more of, what's really going on.
Like,
so I pieced together that they are somehow on some sword ship or something, and she either stuck or she don't want to get out.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a mix of the two. Because this is one of the reasons why I wish they had just gone ahead and just dropped the whole thing. Because like I can see how they're going to do this, where each episode you see things unraveling more and more, and then like her fighting to keep her little simulation going.
Yeah. And
that's cool. But now I had to wait a whole week to see the next step.
I know. Which we seen from the trailer, they showed they kind of gave. I think they gave a trailer for the next episode, but I just saw it's gonna be like the 70s. So I'm guessing what they gonna do is a different decade every every 2 episodes. So from what I saw, it looked like the Brady Bunch.
Right.
And then somebody did a little comparison. The little stairs they was in front of is the exact same stairs. So they kind of got the exact same set from the Brady Bunch.
It's gonna be what, Brady's Bunch, then Mork and Mindy?
I don't know about the Mork and Mindy, but that actually would make sense. But that was the 80s though, so they got to stay in the 70s right now.
I'm just saying, like one then the other.
Yeah, they might do that because I'm pretty sure once they do it in the 80s, I'm not sure what they're gonna do. They might do some Who's the Boss or something, and they might get to the 90s with Friends, or something. But it's got to be married couples probably.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
whatever. But anyway, I mean that's cool and that's fun, but I need a little more of what's really going on because it's almost seemed like y'all really making an episode of a sitcom, and they expect us to kind of like enjoy it as just watching the episode of Bewitched.
Because like
I don't know.
Because like don't get me wrong, I like it. I also like the stuff they're doing to showcase that this is an unstable simulation of some kind.
Right.
They just need to put more of that in there.
Yeah. But my thing is, if this is simulation, is everybody real?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they are, or yeah.
I believe so. I think that's
Okay.
one of the reasons why the simulation's unstable is because everyone is being sold their own narrative.
Yeah.
Well, let me rephrase it. Everyone's being sold their own character, but none of them have an actual narrative. So it's like you see the boss and his wife, right?
Yeah.
They have characters
Right.
that they had to play.
Well,
But when the situation takes them out of that, they just loop.
right. I was just about to say because it's an incident that happened there, and we wondering like what's kind of going on, and it seemed like they didn't know how to handle it. So they was like you said, it was kind of like stuck in a loop or something.
Yeah.
And then you got to think if they real people. these are not simulations. So imagine a real person stuck in a loop, so it's like, that's kind of like torture, almost,
Hell, if you will.
You said what?
Hell, if you will.
Which I think play a big part. They keep going on because I like I said, I'm not familiar with that story, so this is good for me because I'm just experiencing it without actually knowing the story. So I'm just learning it. But I keep seeing the Easter eggs, and I keep hearing Mephisto's supposed to have a big play in this, and that's where she supposed to have his. Somehow she have kids she have comes from him or something. You knew about that or whatever, but. Something he did to her to make her have those kids because he wanted something or whatever.
I mean, that sounds like some Mephisto type stuff.
Right. And so that's what the next season, the next couple episodes is going to be about, them having kids. They're going to have twins and whatever. I don't know what's going to
Why not?
Right. Which everybody's like, oh, they got kids in the comics and they end up being like in the X-Men or something.
I vaguely remember them, but most of that era, is just gone from my brain.
Yeah. So, anyway, and I was thinking I kind of went back and thought, well, when did Wanda and Vision kind of get together? When did they fall in love and all that?
I just remember the fallout of that, trying to reconcile how did they have kids, and then finding out the kids themselves were she had made them happen with their powers,
right?
And that, again, every storyline that's Scarlet Witch dependent is so terrifying.
Right. But I was thinking in the movies, it's they supposed to be this couple in such in love. It's when I thought about it, them getting together in the movies, I'm like, they kind of just started seeing each other because they was the only two people at the mansion. It's like starting a job. Yeah. It's like starting a job is we both single, so we might as well hook up.
And that's kind of what it is. I mean, I hate to put it like that, but I'm like, who else was it going to be?
Right. Well, I mean, because we knew that in the comics they had this thing, but wasn't it because she was with Wonder Man, and then when Wonder Man brainwaves got transferred to Vision, that made more sense because that was already her love interest or whatever. But this one, he was just like a robot dude that was living at the house while she was living there, and somehow he's like, "Girl, you you that desperate? You fall in love with somebody with for real no emotion?"
I mean, he was a rock.
Right. Anyway, it's cool. It's just that's when I really think about it. It was like they kind of. I feel like they forced this whole relationship.
They did because they were together in the comics, so they need to be together.
Right.
In the
I mean,
movies,
the thing is, they even did not Endgame. I think that was Endgame. No. The one before, is that Endgame?
Infinity War.
Whatever, the one where they showed them together. Yeah, Infinity War. Where they was they've been together for a couple of years by then. And I guess we wasn't privy to how they got together. But far as we saw, they was just ended up both living in the same place. Yeah. And he was kind of like, yeah.
This is the problem with doing too much of your storytelling, between the scenes.
Yeah. It don't feel earned.
Yeah. It's no, they really love each other. Since when?
Right. Well,
don't worry about it. They're very in love.
So, I mean, whatever. It's cool. We can go with it. But let's talk about what to expect moving forward. Now we know the aesthetic, what we got. We got basically a sitcom from different decades. Well, we kind of knew that, but they going to do the episodes like that. And I think as the episode go on, it's going to be less sitcom and more what's really going on.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the second episode, they showed something real.
Yeah.
And Wanda, kind of like you said, she kind of realized it and kind of made it go back.
And I'm not going to spoil how it goes. It's easy to spoil, but it's it's a great moment. It doesn't seem maybe on the face of it that it's a great moment, but once you get an idea of what's going on, it's oh damn, it's like that.
Yeah. But I think they're gonna, like I said, they're gonna do the Brady Bunch, but I need them to add more of what's really going on into these and stop. I don't want them to just keep on doing the whole sitcom into the whole 30 minutes. and with just a little bit of
like it would be so
reality.
easy to just say, "Here's my favorite episode of Bewitched. Here's my favorite episode of The Brady
I mean, that's
Bunch."
I feel like this was gonna be, man.
And I hope it. Like I hope there's enough deviation from that in the next few episodes.
Right, but when they do this on shows, they've done this before. It's always one little quick episode or half episode.
Done.
Right,
Yeah.
one episode that happens. Somebody get hit on their head, and then they wake up and leave it to Beaver.
Yeah.
And then you kind of got to go through that, and then they get out of it. But it's almost stuck. You stuck in this for how many episodes? And then they actually go through the whole motions of making it just like a real episode of that sitcom.
Yeah.
You got to really like that sitcom to appreciate this. Like people that love Bewitched really appreciate this.
Yeah.
But the Marvel fans that don't know nothing about Bewitched is gonna be like, what's going on here?
I'm just trying to imagine being a 13-year-old right now watching this, having never seen this style of sitcom before.
Yeah, they younger fans are probably not going to be into this like that.
Like especially if like your experience with Marvel TV shows is Daredevil and Luke Cage.
You really ain't gonna know what the hell.
Yeah, it's a whole nother look.
One good thing is I heard that after this, starting this week, every week for the whole year, we're going to get a Marvel show. Because right after this is over, they're going to start another show. So they're going to do it week by week.
Okay.
So what they was planning on doing is every week we get a new episode of something.
Okay.
For the whole year. So if that's true, I heard that one of the people that talk about all this said that.
I mean,
but
I'm for it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Okay, I like that idea. So keep me going every week. I'm cool with that. But yeah,
we've earned this.
You said what?
We've earned this.
But we waited a year and a half.
I mean, come on. Hey, look, y'all got to skip a year, okay? It's time.
Yeah. So anyway, that is
hate to
our.
put it like that.
It's a true. That is our WandaVision review for episode 1 and 2. We are going to continue watching this and review episode by episode. So if you like our reviews and you like our content and you like this show and you want to know what we think about every episode, please subscribe. Subscribe to the channel.
And give us a thumbs up and a comment. Help us beat the YouTube algorithm so that you can see more of us.
Yes, sir. All right, we are out of here.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.